Hello everybody, welcome back to Lexi in Case. Welcome to Car Vlogs. Welcome. I am currently heading back to Vegas from Pahrump. I was visiting my grandparents, who live out here. I wanted to make a video of the weekend because I did not film while on my trip, and I'm sorry. I am really sorry that I did not do anything on my trip. But on top of that, I am very sunburnt, if you couldn't tell by my face, and my feet are very sunburnt right now, and they hurt like a mother. So, and I'm wearing boots. I decided to wear boots today, and they're they're super swollen. Like, they're so burnt that my feet just swelled up like twice the actual size, and I'm just dying right now, and it's not very fun at the moment. So there's that. And then on top of it all, I put on boots and I could barely even walk all day today, and I'm having a blast. So, but yeah, so I cannot honestly remember when I made a video last, but since then, let me just talk about the trip. The trip, we left on Friday morning. Not Friday morning, what the fuck am I talking about? We left Monday morning, and when we got, so I took, obviously it was me and Case and my sister in the car, and then my mom and my stepdad took their own separate car. We were camping, so we drove out there. We were doing our own thing driving wise there, and then we get to the mountain pass to get to this place because it's like right there across from the ocean. All right, so we're going through the mountain pass to get to the campgrounds, and it's super foggy. And then it starts raining, like sprinkling, and then it starts pouring, and I'm like, okay, great, this is wonderful. So on top of thick fog and rain, and weaving in and out of space with the roads, because the roads were just like this the entire time, because it's a mountain pass, obviously. So with that, it was a headache to get through it. And I wasn't stressing as much because I've driven in the rain and fog before, so I wasn't like super stressed. But then we get there and it's raining for another like 30 minutes while we're at the campsite, like ready to go. And so then we get all set up, and the first night it was like there was 25-mile-an-hour winds going through our campground, so the fire wasn't really staying alive as much. And it was just really fucking cold. And I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed because I cannot. So there's that. And then my mom, my sister, and I went across the street to the beach. We went to the beach to watch the sunset, and that was really nice. It was still really cold. So I'm like, I'm gonna go sit back in the car because we drove over. And I was like, I'm just gonna go sit in the car and watch from afar because I'm really cold. Like, I didn't pack any warm type of clothing. I brought summer clothing thinking that it was gonna be warm, but it wasn't. It was windy and it was raining at some point, and it was miserable for me at least. So there's that. And I'm like, okay. And then the next day we woke up, had breakfast, and then we had a beach day, which is when I got all the sunburnt face and feet and shit. So there's that on top of it. So we had a beach day, and Case was making little dunes and all of that fun jazz. And then we kind of traveled down the beach a little bit because there was rocks. And I was like, oh, I wonder. And my mom's like, I wonder if there's a beach on the other side. And I was like, I don't know, let me go check. And I was climbing on rocks to get there. Obviously the water wasn't hitting me, so if anyone's worried that the water was hitting me, it wasn't. So there was that, and I didn't realize it, but I guess at some point there, I had stepped on like a seaweed or something, but I went to go clean off my feet before I got into the car of all the sand, and I look underneath my foot, and there's like a black thing about this big on the bottom of my foot, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I went to go, like, thinking that it was, dry or whatever. I went with a towel and I tried scrubbing it off and it wasn't working, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? And so I was like, well, okay, that's not good. So I was like, what the hell? And I had Case come over and look at it, and he goes, babe, let's try and get it wet and try and rub it off or whatever. And it wasn't coming off as much because it was on the bottom of my foot, and my foot's very sensitive. So I was like, okay, hang on. What do I do now? And I'm like, go get my mom, please. Like, I started freaking out. I was like, go get my mom, please. Go get my mom, please. Go get my mom. So he went over, got my mom. My sister came over first and was like, what the hell is that? I'm like, dude, I don't know. And I'm freaking out. And my mom comes over and is like, oh, you just need to do this. And I'm like, okay. And so she went over and got like some sort of rock or a pebble and came over and started doing this to my foot and pretty much got all of it off. And she's like, well, you're taking a shower, so just make sure in the shower that you like scrub it clean. I'm like, okay. And so I was like, okay. And it hurt like a mother. I'm telling you that it hurt so badly. Well, no, she got a good majority of it off, and then we got back to the campsite, and Case had gotten a bucket of water, warmed it up, had me stick my foot in it, and then like he took that same rock or whatever and started like scraping on my foot. And I'm like, oh my god, like the pain will never end. I'm like, this is terrible. And I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna be fine. It's fine. And I was just crying almost. I was like, it's so painful. We went and took a shower, and I pretty much like washed the rest of it off with body wash, but still I'm just like, oh my god, that was unbearably painful. And then the third night, I didn't know that my feet were sunburnt until the next morning when I was woken up very early to like really like sharp pain down at my feet. And I'm like, what the hell? Like almost a burning sensation. I was like, what the hell? And I'm like, what's happening? Like, what's happening right now? And I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. I didn't bring any aloe with me. And I woke up the next morning, went to go put on my shoes, and I went, oh my god. And because I didn't realize how burnt my feet were until the next morning. And I was like, holy shit. So this was yesterday morning. And I'm like, holy shit, like this really hurts. And I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Because my feet were swollen. And I'm like, man, like I could show you right now, but obviously I'm driving. So there's that. And they're like very, very thick. Like it's almost like a giant pimple on your face that just grows really big and you just really want to pop it. That was me. And I'm like, oh my god, like my foot, like it's burning. We had to drive home. So I was like, babe, like you gotta drive home. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, dead serious, you need to drive home. And he goes, okay. And it was a miserable drive. I couldn't really wear shoes. I took my shoes off and I had my feet out the entire time, like letting them breathe, and it still was hurting. It was still really painful, and it felt like it was on fire the entire time. And then we got home. I took in about a good portion of the bags on my shoulder, and I walked in, and I'm waddling in, wearing my sandals, just waddling in. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is unbearable pain. And we get inside, I immediately, I'm like, I really want to take a bath, but I know the hot water is going to make it worse, and I really just want to relax after that trip. and I was stressing, and Casey's like, why don't you just take a shower? And I'm like, I have to wash my hair anyway, so I'm just gonna take a shower then, and it's gonna be fine. So I took like a 10-minute shower because I was just like, I don't want to be in the hot water for too long, so I'm not gonna play that game right now. And I got to the point where I took a shower, and I felt like I was gonna die. Like, it was so bad. And it didn't feel as bad. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I turned around to clean off to wash off my hair, like with shampoo and stuff. And the water just kept hitting it. And it just felt like lava was hitting my feet. It was so bad. So I got out and I let my feet air out while I got dressed. And I laid in bed for like the rest of the night. I didn't get up at all. I was like, babe, I need food. Babe, I need water. Babe, I need this. He got me the aloe vera. I was reapplying aloe to my feet like every 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours or so. And I'm like, this is unbearable. I cannot. And then I woke up this morning, like I wasn't able to like flex my feet at all, like how you can do this with your hands. I couldn't do that with my feet like at all yesterday. I was like, this is unbearable. I cannot go through with this at all. This morning, after applying aloe vera 4 times last night, I fell asleep and I got a good night rest. Like my feet didn't, like the throbbing of the heat and stuff from my feet didn't wake me up or anything. And then I got up and I was able to move my toes, which was new because every time that I attempted to move my toes, it would hurt. And so I was able to stand up, and obviously it still hurts to walk. And I haven't applied any aloe vera at all today, like anywhere. So, you know, that's something. But at the end of the day, I was just like, I'm gonna be fine. This is gonna, like, the pain is gonna pass at some point in time. Like, it's gonna be okay. And then, yeah, this morning I didn't apply any aloe vera. We went and had brunch with Case's dad and stepmom. And then I pretty much dropped him off and then booked it to Pahrump as fast as I could. Because I was meeting my grandpa at 1. And then him and I had lunch, and then he took me around the valley for a little bit, and now I'm in the car going home. Well, I'm not going home yet. I'm going to my mom's to drop off a couple of things, and then I'm going home. So, yeah, they had dinner plans with a friend of theirs, and I'm like, well, I want to be on the road no later than 4:30, so no. Thank you, but no. So there's that. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to talk about on this fun road trip adventure, but welcome back to Car Vlogs.